Shalom. Just listening to different topics online, in the community, online, and I just want to present a question. A lot of so-called Negroes, because that's what they basically termed us in, I guess, about the 15 to 1600s. Basically, everything, all the terms were basically created, but basically about the 1600s. That's the time when they talked about the slave trade. So that a lot of those terms are slave terms. Black, colored, Negro, all of these things. Also, there's if you look it up, I lose my mind right now, but there was a case when Abraham Lincoln had represented a so-called Negro, and he told them, he said he was not Negro because it was a crime to be a Negro, but he was actually a Moor. And that's how he got off, because he was a Moor and not a Negro. Then there's another description online that they described a Negro in the true sense being jet black. And then I was looking up, not that I'm done it right now, but I've done it before, but I'm just using it. This was the Black's Law Dictionary, second edition. And for time's sake, I'm not going to read it all, but I'll read just a little bit of it. You can go look it up yourself. It's online. Second edition, Black Law Dictionary, and it said, "What is color?" See, they try to get you, they try to catch us up in everything that is color, because color has no standing in law. What is color? An appearance, semblance, or simulacrum, are distinguished from that which is real, a prima facie, or apparent right, hence a deceptive appearance, a plausible assumed exterior concealing a lack of reality, a disguise or pretext. And then it went on to say Railroad Company versus Ibhri, 64 Iowa 520 Northwest 779 Berks County versus Railroad Company, 107 PA 10231 ATL period 474 semicolon, Broughton versus Haywood, and so forth. It says, in a pleading ground of action admitted to subsist in the opposite party by pleading of one of the parties to an action which is so to set as the apparent valid, but which is in reality legally insufficient. Now look how they tie this to a people. The word also means the dark color of the skin, showing the presence of Negro blood, and hence it is equivalent to African descent or parentage. Now let's see what Etymology Online Dictionary says about black. Adjective, Old English Blake, absolutely dark, absorbing all light, the color of soot or coal. From Proto-Germanic black as, burned. And remember how they described the Hamashiach? Said his feet and legs were burned brass. See, the same words that actually condemn us actually tells the truth too, because it gives a description of who we are. But through that description, it robs us of our nationality, because description is not a nationality. And they try to get us caught up in being a description rather than a real man and woman of who we really are. Consider that. This is for educational purposes, education, informational purposes. From pi, B-H-L-E-G, to burn, gleam, shine, flash. Source also Greek, plegion, to burn, scorch. Latin, flarere, to blaze, glow, burn. From root, bel, B-H-E-L, to shine, flash, burn. The same root produced Old English black, bright, shining, glittering, pale. The connecting notions being perhaps fire, bright, and burn, dark, or perhaps absence of color. There is nothing more variable than the signification of words designating color. Wedgwood. The usual Old English word for black was swart, a swart, according to OED, swart, That is working in my mind. In me, it is often doubtful whether blake means black, dark, or pale, colorless, wine, livid. Used as dark-skinned people in the Old English. Of coffee with nothing added, attested by 1796. Let's see. We go down to meaning, fierce, terrible, wicked, is from the late 14th century. Figurative senses often come from the notion of without light, moral, or spiritual. Latin Niger had many of the same figurative senses: gloomy, unlucky, bad, wicked, malicious. The metaphoric use of the Greek word malice, however, tended to reflect the notion of shrouded in dark, overcast. In English, it has been the color of sin, and sorrow, at least since 13th century. The sense of with dark purposes, malignant, emerged 1580s in black art. Necromancy. It also has the sense of black magic. Black flag flown especially by pirates, or as signal of no mercy, is from 1590s. Black dog. Melancholy, attested from 1826. Then, let's see, to become black, to make black, darken, put a black color on. Black noun, Old English. The color black, also ink, from noun use of black, adjective from the late 14th century as dark spot in the pupil of the eye, the meaning dark-skinned person. African is from 1620s, perhaps late 13th century, and blackamoor is from 1540s, meaning black clothing, especially when worn in the morning. Is from 1400s. Let's see. For years, it has been common practice to use red ink instead of black, ensuring a loss or deceit or a deficit on corporate books. But not until the heavy losses of 1921 did the contrast of colors come as to have a widely understood meaning. Let's see, there's something else I want to look at. Also, I put in the word black in the second edition of the online Black's Law Dictionary, and what popped up came this different words popped up under black. This is what popped up when I put in just the simple word black, and this is what popped up, all these headings. What is racism? What is negligence? What is statute? What is imprisonment? What is fraud? What is consent? What is collusion? What is presentment? What is fiduciary? Man, there's something else, bro. Let's see. Alright, so for now, I think I'll leave it at that for right now until I come up with some more information. Alright, shalom.